welcome back to my channel. I now have 4 days till Florida. 4 days! It's coming around really fast, and every time I shoot one of these I'm like, oh, it's coming around so fast. Am I ready? Have I got everything sorted out? But I'm pretty sure I'm nearly there. So earlier in the week I promised I would do a video on my Fastpasses, and I have them printed out here. So I'm just going to run through the Fastpasses that I've got for each day and give you an idea of why I've kind of booked those ones at those times. So day 2, which is my first full day in the park, which is a bit confusing because I'm calling my first travel day, my first day, day 1. Day 2, my first full day in the park, I'm going to Animal Kingdom in the morning, so all of my fast passes are initially for Animal Kingdom. I have a fast pass for Kilimanjaro Safaris at 11:30. I have a fast pass for Avatar Flight of Passage at 12:30, and I have a meet Disney's favourite pals at Adventurous Posts at 1:50. And each of those fast pass slots are for an hour, so they're almost back onto each other, which is great. It means they're nice and compact. I can do other things in between those, and then it means I can leave the park at about 2, half 2, providing I'm happy I've done everything, and then head on over to the next park, which is Hollywood Studios. So the way fast passes work is that you get 3 every day, and fast passes are free, you don't have to pay for them. And once you've used those 3, you can then book another one, and then once you've used that one, you can then book another one, and when you've used that one, you can book another. The first 3 have to all be in the same park. I don't think there's any other way you can kind of get around it. You have to book 3, and then you can book a third one at an alternative location, so it could be a different park if needs be. So that's how roughly fast passes work. On to day 3, which is my first full day in at Magic Kingdom, I have a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for 8:10, Peter Pan's Flight for 9:10, and then Enchanted Tales with Belle at 10:20. In between there I've got my Be Our Guest reservation for breakfast, and I wanted to get Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan's Flight because those queues can easily top an hour, and they're not the sorts of rides that are thrill rides or ones that I particularly enjoy lots. I love the detail on Peter Pan's Flight, but I just wouldn't want to queue up for an hour for it. So those are really good initial uses of fast passes, and because I'm there all day, I can book fast passes right through till early evening. I don't believe you can get fast passes through the Christmas party, so they would finish, I believe, at 6 o'clock, the fast passes. But by having the last one kind of activated possibly around the 10:20, 10:30 mark in the morning, I've then got loads of time, sort of 8 hours or so, to get additional fast passes throughout the day. So definitely a good idea if you're going to a park for the whole day to get lots of fast passes for first thing, get those used up, and get booking some additional ones. On day 4 of the holiday, which is my day at Epcot, I've got Soaring fast pass for 9:10. I've got Meeting Disney Pals at the character spot at 10:10, and then I've got a Mission Space fast pass for 11:25. So my plan on this day is to rope drop Frozen Ever After, because although it's in the World Showcase, and that actually doesn't really open till 11 o'clock, I believe you can get on Frozen Ever After from rope drop at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead straight there, do that, and then straight over to Soaring and queue for Soaring. So hopefully the queues won't have built up too much by that point. On to day 5, which is my full day at Animal Kingdom. I've got a Kilimanjaro's fast pass for 9:55. I picked that one, and you'll notice I had one for that earlier in the week. It's a great opportunity, particularly for people that are keen photographers, to get some great shots of animals. In the mornings as well, they're a bit more active before it gets warm in the afternoons. So I definitely want to do that a couple of times to see if I can get some good shots of the animals. I've got an Expedition Everest fast pass for 11:50. And then I've got another fast pass for Avatar Flight of Passage, because I've heard time and time again from people that you're going to want to ride it more than once. So I've got a fast pass for that at 3:55. If I get time and I can book additional fast passes, I may well do that, but I'm conscious that I want to try and get to Disney Springs in the evening, so we'll see how we get on. Day 6, so the Friday, I've got all day at Magic Kingdom until about 6 p.m. So I've got 3 fast passes booked for that day. I've got Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at 10:50, Enchanted Tales with Belle at 11:50, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at 1:45. Again, there's some duplicates in here just because I think I'm going to want to ride these things each time I visit the park. and they're just the things that I wouldn't want to queue a long amount of time for. Things like Space Mountain. Space Mountain is probably the main thrill ride for people at the moment at Magic Kingdom. I definitely would ride that, and I would queue up an hour for it because I love it. So yeah, there are certain things where I don't mind waiting, and it makes more sense to use the fast passes on the rides for me that I just don't want to spend hours queuing for. On day 7, which is my last full day in the park, I am actually park hopping. So I've booked 3 fast passes for kind of around the lunchtime mark, because I think that's when I'm going to be walking through Epcot, having visited the resorts around Magic Kingdom in the morning. By lunchtime I'd like to try and get through Epcot and then out the other side for the afternoon to visit some of the Epcot resort hotels. So I'm going to do Spaceship Earth at 10:25. I've got Mission Space at 11:35 and Frozen Ever After for 12:40. So again, they almost back to back, so I'm not losing too much time in between. And I can squeeze in some other bits, then head off outside of the park in the afternoon. Then on the final day, which is day 8, which is a Sunday, I've got a perfect fast pass at 9:45 for Avatar Flight of Passage, which is great, so I can definitely get that a third ride through before I leave. And then I've got 2 fast passes booked for later in the morning. I've got one for 10:50 for Dinosaur and one for 11:50 for Expedition Everest. Now, it'll be really interesting to see how long the queues are while I'm out there and whether I actually end up modifying any of these fast passes. I'm going to keep an eye on the Lines app, which is a touring plans paid for app. Or it comes as part of my membership. I'm not sure if that part's free, but it's the Lines app essentially. And that gives you the real-time information of how long the queues are and whether they recommend you ride at that time because the queues are likely to increase throughout the day, or whether you should wait and actually try and ride it a bit later on when the queues are likely to decrease. So there's some really cool tech out there and really cool apps that'll help make this as seamless as possible. So whistle stop tour through the fast passes. Those are the ones that are perfect for me, but different families will appreciate different fast passes. And yeah, the essential ones for me really were the Avatar Flight of Passage ones and the safari ones, just to make sure I get those mornings when I can get some hopefully good shots of the animals. So in a nutshell, there we go. If anybody wants a bit more information, there are loads of videos out there about how the Fastpass system works. Another thing to note is the Fastpasses in some parks are on tiers, so you can select 1 from tier 1 and 2 from tier 2. Fastpasses can be really complicated, so it's really good to watch some videos and source up about them. Or alternatively, drop me a comment in here below the video and I'll try and help out with what my recommendations are for you and your family for your Fastpasses. So I will catch up with you again tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to talk to you about tomorrow. Maybe talk to you about the tech kit that I'm taking, or maybe run through some of the things that I've bought in preparation for the trip. I've got a few new clothing items and things like that, so I'll have a think. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Bye! We're done. You're a good girl, aren't you?